And because of COVID and differences in the administration of the city, that has never happened. He also said that we should encourage the governor to focus on Story Lake and to make the administration of the city so that Story Lake can be more of a tourist attraction where we can have boating and the power boats and those kinds of things available for people to come to visit Las Vegas. So perhaps our city manager can delve into some of those suggestions and get more information from us about this so that we can contact them and so Parks Division of Mr. Baca's last suggestion was that he loves the Riverwalk and commended that we have done a tremendous job on getting that success. But he would like some kind of background on the gate and any signage that is there that is made out of metal. And have maybe a backing that contrasts the color of the metal so that the messages on the gates can be easily read. Last item is, I had a phone call today that pretty much upset me. Let's put it that way. A constituent called meeting assistant. And they called a particular department and wanted to speak to the person who runs that department. And the person who answered the phone hung up on the person. This person is very ill, needs assistance, and the person told the caller, "Too bad, you're not getting that service today." And so I really would like to just remind maybe all directors that whenever you get a new employee or that one is being transferred from another department on a temporary basis, that they need to be trained on customer service. You know, the department heads should give their phone numbers to the governing body so that when the mayor or the city manager are not available because they are doing other business out of town or even here in town and they're not available, so that we can get in touch with them and express that person's need. And so I would like that, I mean, nobody takes advantage of any of the departments that I know of. But if we could call and say, you know, can you help me out here? I've got a real problem with this person. And can you help them out? The water's, you know, flying out of their sink or whatever it happens to be. But we need to know where to find people when we absolutely need them. And the issue is a dire, urgent need. And my last statement is, we're here to serve the people of Las Vegas, not to put them on hold, not to hang up on them or ignore their issues. And I really hope that we can change that, and because I know that we are better than that. Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Mark. Thank you, Councilor Casey. Yeah, I forgot to mention that the playground equipment over at Nana Park is going up. This I know critics from Facebook didn't want shavings on the bottom of the playground equipment, but you know what? We were in a little bit of budget restraints on that end of it, so we made up by getting the proper equipment for the park. It's going to be one of the parks that I think kids will really enjoy. It's a little bit of a physical challenge. And it will be a physical challenge in that playground. But it is coming up and hopefully they'll be done sometime soon so the kids can, families can enjoy it. I want to thank the Public Works Department for saving us cost savings on taking down the old equipment that was rusted, that was pads were done. It really wasn't serving any purpose anymore. And I'll tell you that I was here 20 years ago when we installed it, and I was glad to be here 20 years later to be able to get this one up. So Thank you very much, Mr. Merkley.
Thank you, Councilor Montoya. And in Ward 4, we've had several projects going on as well, and the big project is Crystal Circle. That project is underway, and paving has begun and starting to take shape. So I do appreciate that process of that work being done at this point. Another project in Ward 4 would be the Lincoln Park project, which is also led by Mr. Rudolph, Jeff Rudolph in Parks. And it's the fencing that goes around Lincoln Park. That's pretty much almost complete as well. That's looking real good. And of course, to the staff that's putting up all the, I think it's Arnold's group of people and those people, those individuals that are working on the lights and so forth along the river, and a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things gonna be happening pretty soon in our community with, with the holidays showing up. So again, I do want to thank all directors and staff and give them an opportunity to have a good holiday season coming up. Thank you. Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Next on the agenda is our police chief's report. We have our police chief, Mr. Taylor Marcus. Share screen. It's up to you.
So I might not be able to put the presentation up, but I can read off the stats, just so it doesn't get any more difficult. Good evening, Mayor, Council, Mr. Manager. So these are the stats for the October 2025 field operations and communications and records. We had 155 traffic citations, 8 non-traffic citations, 22 parking citations, 46 arrests, 6 animal control citations, 3 burglary calls, and a total of 1,285 calls for service. We also had 2 officers graduate the academy on October 29th, Officer Lucas Lucero and Officer Jesus Encinas. So we have 2 new certified officers on the streets. Our communications division answered a total of 1,506 calls for service. Police department answered 1,285, fire department 232, AMR 216, animal control 83, and city services 22. And we had a total of 1,058 911 calls. The beginning shelter count for our live intake was 64 dogs, 19 cats for a total of 83. We had an intake from the public of 61 dogs, 11 cats for a total of 72. We had 6 adoptions of dogs, 5 for cats for a total of 11. We had 3 outgoing transfers for dogs, 0 for cats. Return to owner or guardian. We had 12 dogs and no cats. We had cats and dogs that were euthanized within the shelter, 1 healthy cat. No dogs, unhealthy and untreatable was also 1 cat. And died or lost in shelter care was 4 dogs, 1 cat for a total of 5. With an ending shelter count of 99 dogs, 22 cats for 121. We also got some really good news today. One of our cases that we were holding 25 animals on has been resolved. So we're going to be getting 23 of those animals rehomed and bringing back 2 to the family. And we still have three others pending court hold.
Can you give us a quick update on the new facility? Where are we on that?
So we just got the 2 renderings in. They did 2 different renderings, one that's going to be a little more expensive, one that's going to be more cost efficient. We got the documentation and I want to do a presentation. Have B come and give a presentation on the 2. That way moving forward, we know what direction we want to pick, and we already have the property laid out. We met with community development, identified a location and city manager. We also did the needs assessment and met with Shelter Planners of America, and they put us 2 renderings together. So I just got that right before the meeting as well too. So hopefully now in the month of December, we could put some presentations together and have a direction moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our information division processed 162 offense incident reports, 38 traffic accidents were closed, 191 traffic citations, 170 customers were attended to, 340 documents were scanned and completed 42 city IPRAs. We're still continuing with the indexing of 28 to 2021 records now. So we did finish 2017 prior. We're moving on to the next ones for indexing. We're continuing a training of our new employee, Nevaeh. She just started with us in records, so we're back full staffed in there as well. And continuing the records maintenance management program that they started. Our street crimes division was assigned 9 cases, 12 self-initiated, made 4 arrests. We had 1 missing person, 1 unattended death, and we closed 1 case. Evidence seized by our investigators was 3.23 grams of methamphetamine, 72 fentanyl pills, and 1 firearm. We had a total intake in our evidence of cases of 106. Items were turned in were 185. We released 4 evidence properties of evidence, not narcotics, back to the community, just items that maybe might have been stolen and returned to the owners, but processed. We seized 6 firearms from patrol, 2 grams of methamphetamine from patrol, 4 fentanyl pills, 1 gram of cocaine, 1 gram of crack cocaine, 2 other prescription pills, 2 grams of marijuana, 1 gram of mushrooms, and completed 17 IPRA requests through evidence. Our detectives also responded to 44 calls for service during the month of October and completed their biennium in-service training this past month. We had several informational travels for a laser scanner training, which is conducted October 6th through the 8th within our training room. We had 2 police officer cadets who just completed their New Mexico Training Academy that were traveling back and forth. We also had 3 police personnel attend the FBI leader first step leadership for their trilogy classes. We had 2 police personnel attend FTO instructor training, and we continued with our biennium in-service training for the whole department. We also had 11 informational travels for animal control MPD throughout the month. We had 4 applicants that were interested in our vacant police officer position, 2 certified and 2 uncertified. We had 8 applicants interested in our vacant communication specialist position. 7 were interested in the full-time and 1 in the part-time. We had 2 applicants interviewed for the vacant positions within the police department for police officers and communication specialists. We actually submitted hires, but both of them had to decline due to family issues. But we are testing for this Friday for police officer. We had applicants for our communication specialist who were contacted. That position that we did hire was our last position, so we're going to reopen that process and try to bring another one in. We had 1 lateral officer reach out this week, interested in coming to work over here, who just graduated in academy. So he'll be testing on Friday as well. We also participated in the New Mexico Highlands University Fall Career Fair on October 2nd, the West Las Vegas Homecoming Parade on October 24th, and the Boo Fest in the park on October 31st. We have several new hires. We have Nevaeh Lucero, who's in our records division. We have Joshua Vigil, who's an animal control officer. We promoted Sergeant Michael Ortega to police lieutenant, Sergeant Devin Atkins to police lieutenant, and Officer Nathan Marquez to police sergeant. And we also promoted Officer Nick Salazar to investigator. We currently still have 21 positions vacant. We're down to 5 police officer positions, 1 police lieutenant, 2 police sergeant, 1 police commander, 2 investigators, 1 narcotics agent sergeant, 1 narcotics agent, 2 community service aides, 1 communication specialist full-time, 2 part-time community service communication specialists, 1 communication manager, 1 animal control officer, and 1 violent victim crime advocate. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Chief. I just wanna say thank you to those 2 individuals that are, joining the police force and ready to serve our community, and that's important for us. Of course, all the other applicants that have applied, and as those jobs get filled, it's good to know that we're moving in the right direction, even though that our community sees a lot of activity going on and maybe more officers out in the street. There's still so much more work to be done, so we just, it doesn't end once we fill the positions. We've got quite a bit of work moving forward, so I do appreciate that. Counselors?
Mr. Walton, Mr. City
Counselor
Manager.
Gabri, go ahead.
Mr. Chief, what are we doing with the vehicles that are on the right of ways? All of ours.
So we actually just met with community development. Lucas and I spoke about it, and we commissioned the code enforcement officer, so they're going to be assisting with issuing citations for those vehicles left on the right of ways.
Are you giving your code enforcement some leeways of the vehicles that are parked on the right of ways? Because there's vehicles all over town parked on the right of ways, and it looks like we're not doing anything. And there's some that we pull out or they fix them, but I mean they're just park wherever they want. And the thing is that we don't have the staff, or we don't have the way of doing it. But I see it all the time, and I don't see any citations or anything that's going on with code enforcement on that, because it's even yards, but I won't stay with the cars, we gotta start looking at that, Mr. Manager, and see who right with that. And get back to us.
And we actually just met, if it's okay on that. So we actually just met on Tuesday, and we're going to be pushing to do a citywide cleanup. We're going to do 8 weeks of advertising and amnesty for the city. And then moving forward, police, code enforcement, all hands on deck to start pushing to enforce properties. We actually met with our municipal judge today, talked about ordinance changes that need to happen to assist us in moving forward to get this initiative taken care of. So everybody is on board, and we're continuing to meet regularly with the city manager, code enforcement, animal control, community development, and we're putting a plan forward to do a citywide cleanup.
Thank you, Mr. Poltina. Mr. Manager, can we, once you start doing that, can we have a list on what wards we're working on the right of ways?
Yes, sir. And we're pretty much going to attack it like how we did with the alley cleanups. We're going to identify some of the worst areas first, if I'm not mistaken, and then we're going to move forward on those, and each ward will have their representation as well.
But it is cleanup and cars are in the right of way. I mean, all over town. And the things that we just let it go, and they keep on doing it, and we don't have enforcement on it. But I would like a list on where you're working at, and see if we're working on it or not. Surrender.
So if I could, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilor Gulabati, just to speak a little bit more, we'll have a more comprehensive report coming forward, but the essence of it is we need to make sure that our court system, our judiciary is backing up fully what we're doing hand in glove with our code enforcement. There's some time constraints that are associated with ordinance enforcement that occurs, so we're gonna make sure we work with our judge, and we're gonna make sure we work closely with police department, code enforcement, Lucas's team, so that we make sure we inform the public carefully in the next 8 weeks, that we provide space. Also, Mr. Marquez, David Marquez in solid waste, that we're providing space and adequate resources for people that may not have resources to haul away material or haul away old cars. So we're truly taking a comprehensive snapshot of all that we've done to this point, and making sure we inform people in the next 8 weeks, and then that when we roll it out with the full community, that we're lockstep with our judiciary, our municipal judge, so that there's the enforcement and the support and teeth, if you will, to not only provide support and help for those that need help for cleanup, but also provide teeth where we need it to make sure that there's compliance. And so we're doing it comprehensively, Counselor, but we want to do it right. We want to do it right. And so it's not like we haven't been working on it, but this is going to be a comprehensive task force, if you will, including our municipal judge, to get our hands around it with our public information officer, utilizing print, utilizing radio, utilizing every mechanism we have, these meetings, information through our handouts, through our utility bills, everything possible to make sure that people are aware of their responsibilities, but that we also have support to provide service to them as we engage in that compliance. So we're excited about it, but we just respectfully, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilor, we want to make sure we do it right.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Mr. Chief, I know it's a burden to all of us, because we have 15,000 and 16,000 residents. You start looking at every ward, and every ward's got some problems. And the thing is that we're looking at it, and maybe we're not taking care of it, or we don't have the time to take care of it. But it's just getting out of hand. And the thing is that it's right of ways. It's right of ways, that's what it is. Right of ways, it's, you have that say so. And you gotta look at your ordinance and see where it goes from there. And you do it right.
Yeah, and that was part of the reason why Lucas and I met with our municipal judge today and making sure that we have the teeth to back us up when we go to force these ordinances. And we also want to give adequate timing to revamp some of our ordinances within the 8 weeks. I know Lucas is going to be running pretty fast to try to get some changes done. We still have to do some consultation within that group and with the city manager to make sure that we're following and putting the best plan forward to accomplish these tasks.
Thank you, Chief. You know, we gotta start looking at that, so thank you, Mr. Manager.
You'll agree, but no, sir, regret.
Yeah, Chief, so on this reclassification positions, how long have they been vacant?
Around 2 years, possibly over 2 years.
So you know, we have people moving up that are qualified for those positions.
Yes, sir.
And that, but then we're increasing the number of vacant officers in the streets by 6 or by 5.
So majority of those, besides the investigator position, remained on patrol. Right now, we're running about, I believe 2 of our crews are at 5, 2 are at 4. And then with the readjustments, we should be seeing more officers on patrol. But we do have 5 that are on field training right now. So within the next month or 2, hopefully some of them will be getting cut. So we'll have.
And thank you. And all those come with a salary increase?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
On the promotions.
And we have the budget for those.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now on your commissioned officers, you have 4 of them. What training or did they receive to get certified as commissioned? Or giving out citations or imposing fines with code enforcement?
For the code enforcement officers?
Yes.
So our code enforcement officers, they did prior work at the PD and were commissioned to issue those citations on private property, especially pertaining to the vehicles and pretty much all of their violations. When they went to a training, what training was it, Lucas?
It was a municipal league certified zoning officials
Okay.
training. They found that there was some new laws that are kicked in, and for them to be able to be tagging vehicles, they needed to be commissioned. So I approached Chief Marquez through our city manager, and we got that direction, sir.
So, and lastly, I guess, what's the process, what's your process gonna be to ensure that, you know, they don't go wild giving out tickets and so forth, and you know, and working with people that have these issues instead of just landing up in court, you know, giving them a warning process or getting them assistance or stuff like that, because sometimes when people can't cut their leases because they don't have a lawnmower, because they're old age, or they have a handicap, or you know, there's always something behind it, or they don't have no family members. So is that part of their training?
Yes, sir. So they do make contact or their best attempts to make contact with the owners of the property. And it's been a practice that they've been working forward to. Pretty much our role in this is we're going to be processing their citations through our records division and maintaining record for them through the courts as well.
Okay. And lastly, I think that there ought to be some kind of rotation on them for guys on weekends. Because there's a lot of activity that's going on weekends that's not being monitored. And that comes from building porches, from opening up businesses, like people coming from out of town and setting up shop and leaving Sunday night. There's a lot of things that are happening that shouldn't be happening. And I think that a couple of those officers should be on a rotating basis, or at least one of them, you know, every weekend, monitoring all that, the whole community, you know, because it's getting out of hand. I mean, you turn around and there's something going on that shouldn't be going on weekends. And there's either they don't have a permit, or, you know, there's a lot of roofing that's going on. I don't know if they have permits or not, city permits, but they're out of city, out of our cities, companies from out of our city, and for that fact, probably out of state. But, maybe you can fit that into their schedule.
Yes, sir. And I don't directly oversee code enforcement. They're not within our department, but it's something I can work with Lucas Marquez, and we could get something put together.
Thank you, Mr. Marcus.
Thank you, Counselor.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
Manager. I'll wait till the council's done. When the council's done, I have three quick things under the chief's report I'd like to make comment on.
Mr. Casey,
Am I making one?
go ahead.
Mayor Pro Tem, three things I wanna say on the record, for the mayor and council and the public, and the mayor and council already know it, but, for the public's, knowledge, and they understand it, I believe as well, but the police department and fire department, deal with, among many other things, loss of life and tragedies associated therein, and I just want to tell you that I am continuing the learning curve, but I've also spent more and more time, within the police department in particular, gonna spend more time with fire department, but I just wanna note that, they champion those challenges every day and do their best to keep their mental health, up to date and working alongside one another, caring for one another and seeking support. And so, that's number one, thanks to them and a shout out for that work. In recent weeks, they've had to deal with bomb threats in the city of Las Vegas, and they handled those, police department, fire department, all public safety and the staff with the utmost care, courtesy and professionalism. And so I just want to note that. The last thing, and we'll be bringing additional feedback to mayor and council. We have a lot of critical infrastructure in the city of Las Vegas, and also parks and rec that have a lot of large investments. Unfortunately, we had some recent vandalism, but we're working closely with the chief to develop some strategy and open space type officers that will focus on that initiative and those critical infrastructure areas as well as parks. Those are things that will be coming back to mayor and council for your review and approval, but I just wanted to forecast that those are all many other things in addition to what the chief noted that we're working through and working on. So I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
Thank you, Manager. And I Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Moving on to our next item is finance report. We have our finance director, Mr. Morris Madrid.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight's finance report will be fairly routine. I just want to go through some of the highlights and anomalies that we have and answer any questions. First, within the general fund, all of our gross receipts classifications continue to grow. We've seen that trend for a couple of years. We expect it to continue for at least another year. So that's a good thing. In general, all of our expenditures are growing compared to last year. That's also expected, and that's also a good thing. We have across the board increases in compensation, which comprises between 75 and 80% of our budget. So that is expected. The only major anomaly that we have in the general fund is in our general services department. You see a major increase compared to last year. There's not a budget issue there. It's a timing thing, and this is a credit to the governing body. Last year, within the elected officials' discretionary budget for projects and things like that, all the spending took place later in the year. But there was better planning this year, and that spending has taken place in the beginning of the year. So that's a good thing, and it helps us to better plan for next year's budget. In the enterprise funds, again, these are seasonal. So you may see some, for example, in natural gas is below what the budgeted level is. And that's basically because it hasn't gotten cold yet. Those revenues increase when it's cold. Revenues in water decrease when it's cold. None of these are out of line on either the revenue or expenditure side. So they are all well within our projections and our expectations. In the recreation department, the main thing that you'll see here is in the general fund transfers. Last year, we had major transfers that took place monthly for the repair of the roof. Since that funding is already within the recreation department fund, we didn't have to do it again this year. So it looks like we're transferring a lot less money. We're only transferring for operations now. You see some increases in some areas and decreases in other areas. I have met with the department director and manager there, and I think they'll be bringing forward some changes in hours of operation and changes in the way the fees and structures are done to not only better service the community, but increase the revenues. And those plans look not only necessary, but very reasonable to the public. On the expenditure side, again, we're well within parameters. We don't have any concerns there. They are almost at capacity in all of the hiring of the positions. In our lodgers tax fund, we were a little bit concerned with the downward trend that we experienced back in the spring and early summer. That trend has reversed and lodgers tax is back on the increase again. And there's always a lag between the stay, the collection, and the remittance. So between the time that someone actually stays there and the time that the city gets the revenue is at least a couple of months. So now we're seeing the fruits of the warmer weather and tourist season, and we'll see that for another month or two. On the expenditure side, we don't have any anomalies there. One thing that I will be meeting with the lodgers board chair and the department director for a mid-year budget review, and we'll make sure that the lodgers tax, which has plenty of resources, has their budget in line for the second part of the year. And I'll talk about that in relation to all the other funds here in a minute. In the cannabis fund, the revenues there again are very steady. They don't fluctuate very much. It looks like they've plateaued and have flattened out as compared to when the fund was initially started. On the expense side, we're seeing now all of the expenditures that were authorized by the governing body last year, where the items have been ordered, they're coming in, and we're paying for them now. So these expenditures were all authorized by the governing body, and now we're sending out the checks. The opioid fund is the same thing. You'll see the actual expenditures of $755,000. That includes the payment for the ambulances and some of the other things that were included in that for the police department. So that's the same thing. They're just a timing issue between authorization and actual payment. In the FEMA funding, we haven't had a lot of activity. I can report we have received our first initial payment of a little over $300,000 there. And we're hoping that accelerates a little bit. I know that the manager has been working with our consultants and the agencies in pushing that a little harder, and it seems to be working. So we're looking forward to some major cash flow there in the next few months. The last page is our cash report. I'm going to talk a little bit more about investments and cash management here in a minute. But the major thing to report there is that we've exceeded $4.5 million in investment revenue. We have differing opinions from different entities on the use of that. We requested from our auditors clarification, so they're working with us on that to see if we can get something definite, yay or nay, about spending it. The yield has now, since this report was done, gone over 4%. It's at about 4.15%. So I have a few other updates in regard to cash and investment management. If there are no questions on the budget report itself, and I'll go on to those. In relation to the investment part, one thing that I've started and is almost complete is a cash flow analysis, and I'll try and explain it in very simple terms. I'll take the one of our special revenue funds as an example. It may fluctuate on July 1st, maybe there's $300,000 in there. By December, it's grown to $1 million. Back in the spring, it may drop to 200,000. So what I'm doing fund by fund is doing an analysis of each cash flow cycle for each fund to determine what the ceiling is, highest balance, and the floor, the lowest balance. And by determining what the floor is, I'm determining what the lowest level of cash is at any time given during the year. And if I take that and I factor in a percentage of 20 or 25% as a safety factor, then I can determine how much above that minimum balance we can safely invest. Even though when we need to, we have a 2 or 3 day turnaround time on redeeming those investments. So that's almost complete. This has been a discussion and recommendation from the Finance Committee. That is almost complete. I think it's going to lead to an actual change in our investment policy that may reflect, here's the trigger point to invest, here's a trigger point to redeem. So it's more objective than subjective, and it happens faster, and it creates the decision-making that would save time and responsibility for both the finance officials like myself and the committee and the governing body. Of course, that would be subject to the approval of the council, that change in the policy. So that's one thing. The other thing that I've been started to review and have some meetings set up with the New Mexico Finance Authority is a review of our debt, because at the direction of the city manager, and it's something that we haven't done in a few years, we have not analyzed our debt service payments in relation to our available equity, loan equity. Now, the reason that this is really good timing, well, there's a couple of them, is that we have many small loans that were taken out for projects, especially in the enterprise funds, that could be extinguished early. We have lower rates or maybe refinancing. We also have a trend in our gross receipts tax, which is not necessarily used to pay all the debt service, but may be used to guarantee the payment of debt service. They like to see an upward trend and a little bit of space between what we actually need for operations and what we can guarantee for debt service. Over the last 10 or 15 years, the Finance Authority has actually implemented an automated collection system where if we do use gross receipts tax to pay debt, they do what's called an intercept, a taxation and revenue. When the cities receive their distribution of gross receipts tax from the state, that portion of debt service gets taken and transferred automatically to the Finance Authority. So that saves everybody a lot of time and effort. So this debt service review ultimately will answer 2 questions. And the first one is, if we made no changes at all, what access to capital would we have for larger projects? The second question is, if we need more than that, how would that affect our debt service payments? For example, could we borrow $4 million without changing a thing? Maybe. What if we wanted 10 million? Well, what impact would that have on our debt service payments? Those are the kind of analysis that I'll be working with the Finance Authority on. If it's necessary and if they recommend it, then we'll also reach out to our bond council and see what, bond rating we would have now that we did get our most recent audit report. And what would our bond sale capacity be if we chose to do that? And the last time that I remember the city doing that was for phase 2 of the recreation center. Those were paid off early and refinanced through a loan to NMFA. And that's another task at the direction of our manager, is what is our tax capability. For example, I'll use the phase 2 of the recreation center as an example. Now that we'll be paying off phase 2 construction debt, can that tax be used moving forward? Can it be redirected? Does it have to be on the ballot? Those kind of questions. Again, that would be a zero impact on everyone's taxes. It would just be a continuation. But those are the kinds of things that we need to look at in finance that would help us be more efficient in our debt service management and make available more capital. The last thing that I'm going to get started working on here in the next couple of weeks is another mid-year review like we did last year. Find out how much we've saved in the first part of the year and find out what our needs are wherever they may be in the second half of the year. So that's an analysis that we'll be doing. Because of the number of vacancies that have been filled, I don't anticipate the number will be as large as last year. Last year was about 2.2, 2.3 million. It may not be that large this year, but whatever it is, it'll be available for priorities within the city. That concludes my report for this evening. I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead, Casey.
Thank you. Mr. Madrid, I just wanted to ask, you said you were working with the finance authority and the bond council. When do you anticipate having a report on that?
I would say probably in January. Our first review is not going to be until the first week of December. They're doing a preliminary review. I'm working with our contact, Ryan Olguin, who's doing the preliminary analysis on his end. And he'll have some recommendations for us by then.
And he's with.
Finance authority. Yes.
Thank you. That was my only.
Thank you, Casey. Answers, any questions?
Thank you, sir, Representative. No, I don't have a question or anything like that, but you know, this finance report was approved by the finance committee. I do want to say that I was here 20 years ago and that was seat tax went into effect. Was it 1/8% for
Yes.
second phase of the rec center? And we did a heck of a job promoting it, and the citizens voted for it, and it was just specifically for that purpose. And 1 year later, that's been paid off. We should be seeing that note being paid off this year. That's a milestone for all that we got. And I thank the citizens for voting for that. And it's important to support education and bonds like those. Thank you, Mr. Okay.
Thank you, Councilor. The only question I had is, I know that, and it's not part of what you guys have spoken about in the last few meetings, but it goes back to the housing authority.
Yes.
And I know that we have that debt being clear up as well. I mean, people in our community continue to ask, moving forward, this council, what can we do to provide homes, housing for our community? But we have this little black cloud following us that we need to clear up. And I'd like to see, manager, if there's a way or the ability to clear up or maybe even settle that amount with the housing authority so that we can find avenues to recreate opportunities for our community. And I know that's part of debt. And we need to always consider that, even though that debt is, if I'm correct in saying this, Mr. Madrid, did you mention that it was interest free?
Correct.
And I know there's probably no reason in the world to pay off an interest free debt, but it's important, and I think it's something that we need to continue to look, to embrace and make sure that our community knows that we're looking for those angles to bring in more housing. It's such an important piece, especially to grow our community, so that's all the questions I have. Thank you for your report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Moving on to our next item, our city manager's report. We have our city manager, Mr. Robert Iannayo.
Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council, I promised last meeting that this meeting wouldn't get into the detail that I provided last meeting, so I'm gonna do a summary based on that promise. But one that gives some adequate progress to work that's ongoing. I would note today, we had participation, and I know several councilors participated in the session that went on between the subcommittee of the Legislative Finance Committee that deals with capital outlay. And I would defer any comments that those councilors would like to make at any time they choose. But I wanted to just say that along with that is presence and participation, I think, are the two things that we want to sustain and maintain and continue within those meetings. We have another opportunity in December before they make their final recommendations to the full Legislative Finance Committee to do additional communication and outreach to our legislators and the legislators statewide that we coordinate and work with to help facilitate our projects. The essence of that particular hearing was, frankly, we're not part of the target, right? There's $7.2 billion. That's B with a billion with a B, not million, 7.2 billion unspent dollars that there's concern of by that committee to assure that that money gets spent and put out into projects in a timely manner. I would report that this city, based on the direction of mayor and council and this staff, has done an exceptional job, not only seeking and garnering money for the city of Las Vegas, but getting the money spent and out the door. And so that's key and fundamental to us as we continue to watch our applications under Water Trust Board that our department heads, Mr. Martinez and Mr. Lopez and others have put forward, Water Trust Board, NMDOT, and other resources, because the better we are at being efficient in our work and our expenditures, the better opportunity that we have to garner more resources. So stay tuned. I'll provide additional feedback on that. Is there any comments that any of the council would like to make on that piece before I go into the rest of my report?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I think that partially of that, I attended the whole meeting until they broke up this morning, but it's gonna be a tough session, and New Mexico's got a lot of challenges ahead in the next 2 years, and they're gonna be focusing on revamping, or I would say, I don't know if revamping is the word, but they're gonna be looking at all capital outlay spending, how it's allocated. Some people get it, some communities get it, some don't. Whoever has more power in Santa Fe gets to get more money. The ones with the least power, get to misegra, como dicen, a little leftovers. But I remember the days when we used to get, $16 million into this community. And the last 8 years, I think the most we've gotten probably 12 million. The most, the rest of the time has been like 4 million, 5 million, and so forth. But they are gonna focus on, they have to focus on healthcare, because of what's going on in Washington. They have to focus on food for people that are gonna get cut off. I'm sorry to say, but this president is focusing more on that each governor needs to take care of their own state needs. And it's a little bit scary because some states are well up and some aren't. Some of them have industries, some of them have the tax base to do that. New Mexico is not one of those. I mean, if you see the statistics, we are one of the states with the most poverty and dependent on different programs throughout the whole state, whether it's food stamps or medical or veterans or whatever it might be. But it's gonna be interesting how this all unfolds. You know, like the city manager said, there is a lot of money on capital outlay that has not been spent. And I'm glad to say that Mayor and Council, we have spent every penny that has been given to us, whether it's through the DOT or through the legislature, federal, state monies, we have used it to the T. That's something that other communities are not doing a good job at, because they don't have the personnel to follow through on those projects. And like I've said before, you know, getting the money is one thing, but knowing how to spend it is another. But $7.2 billion is a lot of money. And I want kudos to the state treasurer. I want to say that. Yeah, there is a relationship, but you know, she is investing our New Mexico monies wisely, and if she wouldn't be doing that, New Mexico wouldn't be able to, or the governor and the legislature wouldn't be able to do all the projects that they do. So kudos to her department for keeping us above water, doing those investments that are dire necessary. But I caution the next governing body, be careful, pay attention to your finance director, your city manager, because I would say that there are gonna be tough times ahead financially. And the city has been there before. 20 years ago, when we were in financial debt and the state was willing to take over, and we don't want to go there ever again. So we got to take care of our vacancies and take care of our fundings. Be proactive, like the finance director is advising us as to our investments, and we can need to listen to our financial experts, and they will tell us what our capacities are on borrowing money and doing projects and so forth. A lot of times I know this governing body and mayor have done a lot of projects in the last 4 years, and we've been able to match those projects, match the funding, whether it's and I thank the New Mexico DOT, and they're here and they're gonna present later on during this meeting, you know, but they sometimes they have wavered our share of it. And not only them, but with the airport projects as well. But I think sometimes, you know, every so often it's just like the weather, we come into a drought. And I think that looking up ahead in the next 2 years, we're going back to a drought. Washington hasn't been too friendly to us this last 2 years. And that's not going to change any, I don't think. So just a word of caution. Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Councilman Toya. Councilor Casey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Mr. and I was very happy this morning when I heard that you were on your way to Santa Fe to be there in person. I know that Councilor Montoya and I watched part of that hearing via Zoom, or whatever they call it there. But what disappointed me was that you really couldn't participate, but we could listen. And unfortunately, I was supposed to be prepared to speak about the health security money that is desperately needed. And also, of course, the needs of our city. And then I was supposed to also participate in the Legislative Education Study Committee hearing, which was happening in a whole other area of the Capitol. So it was like parts that I had to choose. But I think that part of the problem that the legislature is so concerned about is that communities and counties get capital outlay monies, and sometimes they are the requests are for capital outlay projects that are not shovel ready. But in their generosity and wanting to help the communities and counties out there in New Mexico, they go ahead and appropriate that money and then it's not spent. And so that just builds up and then there's all that money just hanging around, not doing anybody any good. And so I can certainly understand why they are wanting to redo the process of how they appropriate money, especially for capital outlay. So I think we really need to keep track of that and be very careful and listen very carefully as to what they are planning to do and how soon do they want to do it. Are they going to do it for this next legislative session in January, or are they going to wait until the next year? So those are issues that we really have to focus on. And I would strongly suggest that we, as the governing body, we as the citizens of Las Vegas and San Miguel County, contact the legislators who are members of both the Senate Finance and the House of Representatives Appropriations Committees, so that they know what our needs are and that we have spent all the money that we have received and we need more. And we need to focus on that one issue. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing with our money. We need more help. And that goes for Highlands, Luna, all the entities that are involved, the state hospital. We need to make sure that everybody is focused on that same issue so that we can move forward and let them know Las Vegas, San Miguel County is doing what they're supposed to be doing. And we want to continue to do it, but we need money to continue. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you, Mr. Anaya, for allowing me to.
Thank you.
get to your report.
No, I think it's very important to the community and to us, the city of Las Vegas. And so we will be putting together a comprehensive legislative team that will work leading up to this session, but also work in the interim period between all sessions. And so we know we need to do a better job of collaborating and communicating to the governing board as well as to the community. And so we'll be doing that in the coming weeks to make sure we're in place and being informed and getting the information back to mayor and council. In my report, I just want to say muchísimas gracias to everybody. With the season of Thanksgiving upon us, I'm filled with gratitude and appreciation as I look back on the last 5 months. Each one of you, the mayor and each one of you, provided me the opportunity to sit here and to work with some of the best people in this world. I'll tell you, I have not been surprised in any way, shape, or form to find the most dedicated, committed, loyal employees here at the city of Las Vegas. And I sincerely thank and appreciate each and every one of the employees here at the city. So pursuing a higher level of excellence, something that Councilor Casey, I've coined and caught on to, and we're going to do as a collective. As we advance forward in the year, we continue to advance to improve to a higher level of excellence. We as a collective team are committed to the service of the citizens and the accountability of resources, each and every dollar as we implement our work. Coordinated communications and follow-up will continue to enhance and augment those for the mayor and council and the public. Partnerships will continue to work on partnerships to foster new ones and to bolster the ones we already have with our neighbors across the public and private sector. Progress, we continue to partner with the state of New Mexico, Plexos and other entities supporting the water treatment facility. There'll be more detail coming more often. We're going to ratchet that project up quite a bit next year and over the next, I would say, 1 to 3 years through completion of that project. So stay tuned for mayor and council for ongoing updates. DOT, economic development, New Mexico Municipal League, governments and infrastructure leaders throughout the state, continued coordination and collaboration. Public information and transparency will continue to provide the information to the public in an open and transparent manner. Our PIO, Ms. Salas, and our collective team are committed to informing the public constantly and consistently. Thank you for your guidance and support. I stand for any specific questions that you might have and look forward to continuing to serve the city of Las Vegas.
Thank you, manager. I know that, I recently just, heard you guys on over the air on the radio. And I commend that you guys are explaining to the public what's going on, that transparency piece that you talked about. Such an important role to our community, and we need to continue to be that way and transparent with everyone. But getting that message across to the public is important, whether it be radio or, here at the meetings. I know that, we had some difficulty earlier. I hope we're back on track. All I can say is that, informing the public is a big piece, and making sure that they understand the direction that we as a council and directors and so forth, as a city, we move forward together. So again, I thank you for your report. Is there any other questions for the council?
Mr. Manager, I just want to thank you for all the capital money that's coming in. It's very important, that money for all departments. And we, as councilman and as city manager in there, we have to use all that money before a certain time. We've done a lot of improvements around our city. There's the streets, there's so many things that we do. And people look at that, and our residents want us to spend that money before the date. If not, they'll keep it and do it or use it somewhere else. So the staff is doing a good job. Commend the staff, you, city manager, our councilman. It just takes time, and they gotta look at it very closely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Councilor Hilary. Any other comments on that? Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Moving on to our business items. Our first item is conduct a public hearing and approval of an application for a restaurant B beer, wine, and spirits license with an on-premise consumption and patio service for the Plaza Grill.
Thank you. Madam Clerk. Councilor Casey.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I move that we conduct a public hearing and, for the consideration of the approval of an application for a restaurant beer, wine, and spirits license with on-premise consumption and patio service for the Plaza Grill. Sorry, Drill.
Sorry. Second by Councilor Andrea. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. If I can ask my deputy clerk to come forward, she's going to swear myself in and anybody else that's going to be speaking on this item. You can please stand and be sworn in. Can you state your name for the record?
David Bustos?
Do you swear to tell the truth during your testimony to council tonight?
Yes, I do.
Do you swear to tell the truth during your testimony to council tonight?
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We do have the applicant Dave's Diner and LLC who's present tonight, doing business as Plaza Grill at 230 Plaza Street in Las Vegas. He is requesting an approval for a restaurant beer, wine, and spirits license with an on-premise consumption and patio service. The Director of Alcohol Beverage Control has given preliminary approval for this application. The application has been forwarded to our governing body for their consideration, and all zoning and publication requirements have been met. At this time, I'll stand for any questions.
Councilors.
Long time overdue.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
uh,
Councilor Casey.
if there are no questions, I move that we resume regular session, close the public hearing.
Second. Thank you. First by Councilman Casey, a second by Councilman Doyle. All those in favor? Say aye. Roll call. Sorry.
Councilor Ivani? Councilor Montoya?
Aye.
Councilor Casey?
Yes.
Councilor Martinez?
Yes.
I have a motion by Councilor Casey, a second by Councilor Montoya Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Madam, City Clerk, I move that we approve the, that we approve the request for the license for the beer, wine, and spirits license for on-premise consumption and patio service.
Second, Mr.
Second by Councilman Webb.
Sure.
Yes.
That's right. Mr. Bustos, if you might.
Yeah.
Do you have any,
We can come up.
yeah, go ahead.
Yes, please.
Thank
Do
you.
you have any,
Tim.
I don't know about that shirt though.
I knew that was gonna be a problem.
You know, Mr. Bustos, first of all, I wanna thank you for taking up on the business ownership of, the restaurant part of it. And, it's good to see locals, being able to obtain places like this. You've been here all your life, your family has been here all your life. And, I visited your restaurant, quite a few times already, and, you serve really good food. Your staff is really courteous and supportive. I did ask the last time if there was any beverages, alcohol beverages, and they told me no. And I said, well, why not?
Right.
I said, well, we're working on the process, and I appreciate that. I think it's nice to find a place in town to go out and eat. There's a couple of other places that are nice places to go out and eat
Right.
and have a beer or wine, glass of wine. I just want to thank you personally for looking upon and caring about our community. And you don't only have one business; you have a couple of businesses,
Right.
which is tells me that you don't discriminate against east or west. One's in Newtown and one's in Old Town.
Yes. If you will, real quick, I just like to thank all of you for your support and just say that it has been a tough situation, tough going for us, me being a rookie, I'm not I'm a coach and a teacher, by trade, and to be able to go in and kind of give life to the building, I think that was important to me. And it was for 6 to 8 months, I believe it was closed. No restaurant, no bar, no ballroom, lights are out. It was kind of a sad situation to see for myself personally, just being from Las Vegas and knowing how much of a gem that hotel is to the community. So again, it is going to be nice to be able to afford. We have tourists coming from all over the country. Unbelievable to see the amount of people that come in, new faces, and they love it. They love the hotel, they love the park, they love the community, they love the city. It's unbelievable to see it and to be a part of it. And I just hope I can, and myself, my fiance, my family, that we can continue to provide services. I think this will go a long ways in doing that. Being able to have the bar open. We have, I would say, 25, 30 events scheduled already for the ballroom moving forward, So again, just thank all of you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bustos. I too appreciate the fact that you're taking a big step forward and taking on that challenge to open up a second business, you know what I mean? So it's important for the area. The area speaks for itself, and that type of business, they go kind of hand in hand, with the community, having the liquor available to the public. And, of course, being able to eat and, have a hotel presence there. So I do commend you for doing that. And I think this community will see it serve our community in the best positive way that we can do it. So I appreciate it very much so.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Manager?
Mayor Pro Tem, I just wanted to make this comment on the record. I don't know, when I saw Coach walking up the aisle here, I don't know Coach well, but I know he's a coach and an educator, not an entrepreneur. But I just want to say thanks for the service that you're doing now, but thanks for the service that you did for decades in molding the lives of our youth within the school system. And
Thank you.
really appreciate and respect that. what I was gonna say was, when you started walking up, I was already gonna line up on the baseline to.
There you go.
Thanks, Mayor Pro Tem, to give me the opportunity to say that I have a lot of respect for the history and the work that Mr. Bustos has done in this community as an educator, as a coach, and now as an entrepreneur.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pope.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Bustos. It's, I'll tell you one thing, it's, people are happy.
Thank you.
We've been looking at that for the past, I live very close to that plaza, very close to for everybody.
You're
I
right.
live very close to that plaza, and I do have to want to have a beer.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's enjoyable because you talk to people that are from here, even your customers. The customers need to have that, they want that.
Right.
They wanna see that this small town start moving. And it's a pleasure that you took over that big step, it's a big step.
Yes.
I'll tell you one thing, the Plaza Hotel is one of the best things in town, not only the best thing, but all over. And you getting it going, and it's a very plus to your family. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Counselor Casey, thank you.
Thank you. I don't have a question, but I also want to say thank you for taking that over. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that everybody that comes to visit me in particular, or a family member that comes from out of town or out of state, when I ask them, where do you want to go eat? They always say the plaza. And so I think that says a lot. And I really thank you for what you're doing, and looking
Thank you.
forward to eating there a lot more.
Yeah. Like
The food is very good.
just on my part, again, I just think, I wasn't expecting all this praise, you know, I mean, to be honest with you, so I'm almost in tears here, but anyway, thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Roll call.
Counselor Montoya,
Yes.
Counselor Letty,
Yes.
Counselor Casey,
Yes.
Counselor Martinez.
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Casey, a second by Counselor Montoya. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Moving on to our next item, request approval of resolution number 2552. This is the budget adjustment for the 2025-26 fiscal year. And our finance director, Mr. Madrid.
Mayor and council, this is mainly a housekeeping item to appropriate monies that we have accepted and will be receiving. I'll just go through the list real briefly. First one is an appropriation of funds from the New Mexico Grow Program carryover funds for food at the senior centers in the amount of $23,606. An appropriation of funds from the general fund for the Grassy storm drain project in the amount of $500,000. This is something that the governing body approved as a concept and project last year. The engineering was funded, the project itself was not. We do have the funding in place for this. An appropriation of funds from proceeds of the New Mexico Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management for emergency generators in the amount of $543,115. This is for our wastewater treatment plant. Legislative appropriation of funds for plan design, construct, furnish, and equip the downtown Main Street and Arts and Cultural Districts in the amount of $900,000. An appropriation of funds from proceeds of the New Mexico Department of Transportation for Ridge Run Road and Ridge Run Road improvements in the amount of $86,093. The match waiver has not been decided yet. We may not need to expend all of the match from our funds. We'll get word on that later. And the final was an appropriation of funds from the proceeds of a grant from the Carol Petrie Foundation for emergency animal care in the amount of $15,000. With that, I request your approval.
Yes.
I would like, this item already passed through the finance committee. It was well dissected up there. It was in favor. I make a motion to approve resolution 25-52. Making these budget adjustments for 2025 fiscal year, appropriate funds from various sources. And part of that motion is, I'm gonna ask, and I'm gonna hold this governing body accountable to make sure that this project's given. I won't be around, but you know, these projects are dear to me. We all supported them and, you know, we need to get them done. That's the bottom line. Thank you.
Second, Mr. Protein, we had it first, by Councilman Doyle, second from Councilman Green. All those in favor?
Aye.
Roll call again, sorry. Roll call.
Counselor Casey,
Yes.
Counselor Martinez,
Yes.
Counselor Montoya,
Yes.
Counselor Ivey.
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Montoya, second by Counselor Ivey, looking Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, motion carries.
Thank you.
Yes.
You know, Mr. Madrid, only so quickly, you know, your finance department does a lot of work, and it goes unnoticed a lot of times. As well as, Mr. Lopez's department up there. He has good people that sit behind the desk up there that help him out through some of this, application process. And we have, a couple of our representatives from the New Mexico DOT, you know, it's all a collective effort that the city of Las Vegas works with all these agencies. And this, just like the city manager said earlier, that is what's gonna continue to happen in every department. We're gonna work with the DOT, we're gonna work with the legislature, we're gonna work with the state, we're gonna work with whomever, state engineer's office, whomever it is, to acquire the best, solutions for Las Vegas. And this projects, that's a lot of money involved, a lot of money involved. And, money don't grow on trees. And it takes staff and the direction of the city manager, the direction of mayor and council to get these projects done. And ask for the funding and qualify for the funding. Another big component is Mr. Robert Achuleta, our consultant. I mean, he brings in a lot of money for us, and it makes sure that we spend it wisely. People quite don't understand how it works. All they see is the new equipment here or the new street that we did or this or the other sometimes. But it takes a lot of effort from staff, and not to leave HR out, but HR has a lot of responsibility in making sure that these departments, that these people have the adequate people that they need in place to apply for all this funding and to get the job done. So it's all a team effort. At the end of the day, it's a team effort from everyone to get these projects going. Like I said, it's a lot of money and it's a lot of need and it needs to get done. And I mean, this will probably take, some of these projects will probably take 4 or 5 years, I'll be out there watching you guys, making sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, moving on to our next item. Request approval of memorandum of agreements between the city of Las Vegas and New Mexico Islands University and Luna Community College. Our city manager, Mr. Anaya.
Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council, I'd ask President Linder if she would come forward. And we also have representatives from DOT that I know we heard from, but maybe if you could come forward as well. I know President Wolf got back from Washington today and was here a little while ago. He might have had to step out to another meeting, but the essence of these two agreements, we discussed them several months back and I got positive direction from mayor and council to bring back a cooperative agreement that basically gives Luna as well as Highlands the opportunity to tap into funds they couldn't tap into otherwise. It also provides us a framework to do additional coordination and communication coordination with Luna as well as Highlands. So two agreements, same purpose, identical function. Mr. Herrera, would you like to provide just a little snapshot for the public just as to how we got here? I know you made a presentation before, but if you could just provide a brief summary and then President Linder going to give you an opportunity to comment.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Managers. Thank you for having us here tonight. We're just here to support the city, to support Luna Community College, Highlands University, and every entity within District 4. What it is we're here to support every entity and funding that we oversee within the department. We oversee capital outlay funding, we oversee local government road fund funding, and we oversee TPF transportation project funds. As you know, each one of those funds has a different match. We talked about match waiver earlier. A little bit of sign of relief. I heard Mr. Madrid say that they haven't got word if they've received match waiver. Our match waiver for LGRF and TPF will get approved tomorrow. So after tomorrow, we'll know who got approved. Each one of them has a different match. For TPF, it's a 95.5% match. For LGRF, it's a 75.25% match, and Capital is a little bit different. So again, we're just here to support everybody within the community, within our district, District 4. We serve 7 counties, 24 municipalities, and about 15 school districts. So what brings us here today is we've had conversation both with the city manager, with Luna Community College, and with Highlands University. The pot of money that Highlands University and Luna Community College are able to get is a small portion of funding. So that's why they're getting partnership with the city of Las Vegas to get some more funding, so that way they could get road work done that leads to both the community college and to the university.
President.
Mayor Pro Tem
Thank you.
Martinez and
Yes.
thank you very much for having us this evening, and I appreciate the opportunity. I think this is a great first step collaboration. Definitely, having lived in Las Vegas since 1997, we definitely realize how much work that we need to do on the roads, and I see that the city's been really committed in the past. I live in the golf course, and my road really is not good to the top, so I'm happy that Highlands University is part of this partnership as well. But this is something that we've been working with Robert Archuleta and City Manager Anaya, and also talking, because we are in the county, talking to the county as well, and trying to get this moving forward to apply for these funds.
Thank you very much. We've been in talking to Mr. Herrera just a little earlier, it supports our community. These roadways are part of our community, and we need to make sure that we continue to build on those, because, for the longest time, and I think, mayor and council that have been here even prior, we haven't seen a whole lot of projects moving forward. And, for the past year and a half, 2 years that I've been on council, a lot of things have been taking place, and we've got new direction, new life with our new city manager, and, of course, just all the parties involved. All of these streets that lead to these campuses are important for our community. It makes our community shine, and, again, talking to Mr. Herrera about this, that a lot of these projects might not be all the small detail like he mentioned earlier, because might be lighting, might be sidewalks, might be parking lots, but the roadways are the ones that do need improvement, and that's a big piece moving forward. So I applaud the MOA that we have with Highlands University and of course Luna Community College, and I look forward to seeing those flourish as we move forward in our future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Councilor Casey.
Thank you. I just have a quick question on the first page that we have here, which is the MOU with Highlands. Right before item number 3, objectives, the little paragraph there says that additional items shall be mutually agreed upon by both parties. So does that mean by both parties, the city managers or the presidents of the university, or does that include a vote by the governing body also?
Mayor, Pro Tem, Councilor Casey, we can add language to clarify it's the governing bodies, if that's the preference of the governing body. We wanted to have a mechanism to do ongoing and continued partnership, but whatever the pleasure is of Mayor Pro Tem and Council, we will follow.
I think that if we could just add agreed upon by both parties and approved by the governing body to the language, I think that would clarify, that way nobody can question anything and say, oh, they did it on their own and look what they're doing, that kind of thing. So
Absolutely.
Thank you, that's all I have. I'm very happy to see this and, Dr. Linder, I used to house sit at the golf course. And, can I tell a quick little story?
Sure.
For, Dr. Fred Yarger,
Hmm.
his wife. And he had just bought a brand new 280Z. And he said, Barbara, if something happens, if there's a fire or anything, you drive the car out first and drive it as far away as you can. And I said, yes, sir, I will. And so, I had spent a couple of days there. They had gone to Mexico or someplace far. And I was gonna be there for quite a few days. And so I was ironing my clothes to go to work in the morning. And, I looked out the window and there was a fire truck out there. And I thought, oh my God, the house is on fire. And I didn't even know. And so I was running around like a crazy person in my pajamas. And I went to start the car and I couldn't get it started. And so I ran outside and I saw these firemen there and I said, help, help, the house is on fire and I can't start the car, help me, help me. And so they drove the car out for me. And so I'm standing out there in my pajamas and the car is, you know, far away from the house. And one of the firemen came up to me and he says, why are you so upset? And I said, well, the house is on fire. And he said, no, we're volunteer firemen and we're here to check the hoses. And so I was like, I was so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do.
We did have a grass fire in the golf course. It's been a number of years, but that was when I was that was a very, very scary thing because those grass fires just, you know, go so fast right across from the three houses right on the top. And so definitely, you know, I don't think we had cars that we needed to drive away that were that fancy, but you know, now I have the Luna vehicle, so I better save that.
Thank you, Councilor Rosa. Councilor Gilbert.
Thank you, Carol, and thank you, Henrietta. You guys are doing a
I wanted to actually, if I just could take a little bit of privilege, I did bring, I wanted to introduce my new VP of Instruction and Student Services, Dr. Henrietta Romero is with me tonight. And I'm also have with us that just started on Monday, we have a new Director of Government and Community Relations, and Tanya Giddings is here tonight. And so she just started on Monday. But one of the main things that I've told her is just to really work on building the community relations, not only here, but also in the other service areas that we serve. So I'm happy to have both of them here with me tonight and introduce them. So thank you. Thank you for Councilman Ulibarri, because I got so nervous that I forgot to do that.
You guys are doing a very good job. I mean, Luna Community College means a lot to these residents, not only to Senegal County, but almost South Senegal County.
Mhm.
And it means a lot, you know, we get our kids, your kids, everybody's kids going there just to get some kind of a degree, some kind of a education.
Yes.
And the things, it's really nice because it's for our residents, for our family, for our kids. And you guys are doing a good job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
You know, I say this, where this is coming from. When you say that Luna, LC and Municipal Highlands University are limited on what kind of funding they can request for. So I definitely see that, and I also see the need for us to be the administrators of that funding of those projects. And you couldn't come to anyone better than us because we're doing a good job at it. But with that, I think this is gonna help both all our community actually in the long run. I will make a motion to approve this memorandum of understanding between City of Las Vegas and Municipal Highlands University and Luna Community College, and adding on to item number 2, the purpose of final approval by the governing body.
Second by Councilor Gilbert.
And Mr. Mayor, Pro Tem, the reason I agree with Councilor Casey is because, you know, we don't want to get to the point on this MOU where the city of Las Vegas is repairing streets and then giving them away. I think that we're on the on that path at all. We want to maintain our roads as well, our own campus and so forth, but we don't want to give them away either, so. We still want to have a handle on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem, just a comment, thank you, President Linder, thanks DOT and two consummate professionals, Henrietta and Tanya, that you have. I didn't realize Tanya was with you now. but,
Started on Monday.
Government relations, former elected official, Bernalillo County, exceptional person, as well as Henrietta, and then look forward to working with
Yeah,
your whole
thank you
team.
so
Thanks
much.
for bringing-
Thank you, and I just wanted to mention, I know you brought your citation, I'm sorry, I did forget your name.
No, it's Monica Duran. It's okay.
I forgot, okay. You need to be acknowledged for showing up. Thank you.
Thank
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Counselor Martinez,
Yes.
Counselor Casey,
Yes.
Counselor Montoya,
Yes.
Counselor Ivey,
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Montoya, second by Counselor Ivey, thank you, Ms. Pro Tem, motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your help. Thank you.
Next on the agenda to adjourn.
Okay. Second by Councilman Montoya. Roll call, please.
Counselor Casey, Counselor Montoya,
Yes.
Counselor Ivey,
Yes.
Counselor Martinez,
Yes.
I have a motion by Counselor Ivey, second by Counselor Montoya, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, motion carries.